Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is CJ. The time's finally arrived to set up the Mold Aquariums 9-gallon Peninsula Nano system. Now, if you guys missed it, did an unboxing video with all the details you need to know about this tank a couple of weeks ago, so definitely go back and check that out. But in this video, we're going to focus on, aquascaping, setting up a nano system the fastest way possible, so that way you can skip all the boring cycling parts and just jump right to enjoying your tank. Now, with this being my first true nano tank, meaning under 10 gallons, I wanted to use this as an opportunity to, grow a little more in the hobby, do some experimenting on a smaller scale, and see what happened. So with that being said, instead of using all dry sand and rock like I've always used in my previous systems, I went by the LFS and picked up 7 pounds of live Pucani rock. Now, I did my best to inspect it to make sure it didn't have any pests, aptasia, or any of the other things I may not even know about. It looked like pretty standard, live rock, so picked up 5 pieces that I think I can make a scape with, threw it in a bucket, and brought it home. Now, when it comes to aquascaping, I usually always try to do some kind of mock-up of the tank or some kind of design as far as the rule of thirds or the golden rule. But honestly, when it comes to the nano, it's just way too small to even worry about doing that stuff. With the tank being small enough to carry around, what better way to mock a scape than inside the tank? So that's pretty much what I did, considering I only had 5 different pieces and it was live rock, so I couldn't, take all night to do this. I had to do it very, very quickly, and this is what I came up with. Now, the main structure of the scape was cemented together with the Aqua-forest Stone Fix I used before, but unfortunately I ran out of it. So the next best thing was to find some acrylic rods, find the right size drill bit, and just get to work, and hopefully don't shatter these few pieces of Pucani I had left. So here comes the moment of truth. And while I'm doing this, I would not recommend anyone to mix Pucani, a drill, and alcohol in the same situation. So I'll just put that quick disclaimer out there just in case anyone's watching. But all in all, I was really surprised with how easy it was to drill, especially with it being wet. When I tried to chisel the dry Pucani, it seemed like it was a lot more brittle. So maybe there's a different consistency between, the wet rock compared to dry rock. But either way, everything went fairly well. I drilled a hole in the main base, drilled a hole in the overhang section, stuck the rods in. I did make sure that I had enough rod to where it was 2 inches into the base and into the overhang, just to make sure it was sturdy. And all in all, everything worked out pretty good. Now, I will admit, aquascaping a Peninsula Nano definitely creates a few unique challenges. For one, it has the 3 viewing sides, and for 2, it's really, really small, not much room to work with. So when I selected this live rock at the LFS, I knew I wanted to have some kind of overhang and some kind of peak touching the water surface. So that definitely went a long way with making this scape come together so quickly. But all in all, I'm happy with how it turned out. So let's go ahead and get it upstairs and get this thing installed. Now, for those that follow my live streams, you've seen this tank on a few different occasions, and everyone else, I want to formally introduce you to the hood tank. Also known as the temporary tank I set up right after I sold the JBJ, with 2 goals in mind. I wanted to keep a few choice frags, I wanted to keep a couple of fish, meaning my anemone and my clown, and more importantly, I wanted to keep my biological filtration alive. That's the most important. That Seachem's pond matrix is going to be the key to kickstarting the nano and kickstarting the 120-gallon tank, which we'll cover in a whole nother vid. So the time's finally arrived to say goodbye to the hood tank and install the brand new Peninsula Nano system. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm going to set this tank up a little different than I have in the past. I'm already going out on a limb and using live rock, so the next logical step is to use live sand. So it's what you guys are looking at, 5-pound bag of Caribbean Sea live sand. Now, from what I can tell, it's a mixture of grain sizes from, anywhere I'm guessing between 0.5 millimeter to 2 millimeter size. And it also has different size shells and crustaceans. It's kind of a mix of everything, which will definitely be good for this nano tank, with me planning on keeping, gobies and, pistol shrimps and all kinds of different kind of crustaceans. So definitely will add a nice little flavor and look to the tank. Now, the real reason I went with live sand is for the biodiversity. I'm already going far enough to use live rock, seeded pond matrix from the hood tank. So why not go for the trifecta and use, some real live sand to add a little more biodiversity to help seed this tank. Now, in most situations, I would always put the rock in first and then add the sand later. But if you guys can't see already, my hands can barely fit around the rock in this tank, so it was just so much easier to do it the opposite way. Now, one thing I'm glad I did was make this scape modular, meaning I can break off the overhang, I can break off the tower on top, and it really went a long way for me being able to fit this inside of a 5-gallon bucket and keep this rock alive while I was waiting for this tank to be ready. So just a quick tidbit for anyone that's setting up a nano, kind of keep that in mind. Now when it comes to the scape, everything went back together fairly well except the peak on top, but after a little manipulating, I finally got it to go, and we are ready for water. So the water for this tank is going to come from 2 sources. Got a 5-gallon bucket mixing with RO water and reef crystal salt. Just a heater and a power head, that's all you need for that. And the rest is going to come from the hood tank. So I'm looking at maybe 5 gallons of fresh and maybe 1 or 2 gallons of old to help balance this tank out. So after letting the tank run for a few hours, this is the end result. The 9-gallon Peninsula Nano is officially running and open for business. And I gotta admit, I had a lot more fun with this project than I expected. Setting up a nano is so much easier. You just add the rock, the sand, the water, that's it. You don't have to worry about plumbing, you don't have to worry about sumps, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff whenever you have an all-in-one nano system. Now, I'm sure it's gonna present its own unique set of challenges later down the road, but the initial setup was very, very easy, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. This tank has so much potential, and just knowing that this is going to be sitting comfortably on my office desk at work to where I can enjoy it every day, I'm really looking forward to that as well. So for anyone new watching this vid thinking, hey, how the hell did he set that tank up so fast? The answer is very simple, guys. Live rock, live sand, and more importantly, live biological media. You don't have to have all 3, but one of them better be seated and live to start up. Keep in mind the pond matrix I introduced is from an established tank that's been running for over 2 years. So I have 2 years worth of denitrifying and nitrifying bacteria that basically instantly cycled this tank. So just want to put that word of advice out there for anyone new. Just find some used media that's established and start your nano up right away. So at this point, let's go ahead and stop this video here. I just want to give you guys a quick introduction to the 9-gallon Peninsula and how I started it up. More details to come as far as filtration, equipment, stock list plans, all coming in later vids, guys. So as always, hey, you guys like, comment, subscribe. You guys do what y'all do. Y'all be easy and happy reefing.